So
Absolutely.
moving on to the final team here in the NFC South are the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, last year they were not great at all. They were a great 3-quarter team, but they could not win in the fourth quarter to save their lives. They had the 4th overall pick this season. Julio Jones, as of right now, is a part of the Atlanta Falcons, but they are clearly trying to move him to basically be able to sign their draft picks. So, Combs, looking at the Atlanta Falcons schedule here, let's mix it up a little bit here. What game stands out to you the most?
None of them.
None of them.
I mean, I'm not high on the Atlanta Falcons. I would guess if I had to pick one here, I mean, let's go with out of division. Let's go with the Cowboys game week 10. I think it'll be a good test. It'll be a good matchup. But at that point, I have them winless heading into week 10. So I have them at 0-8 heading into week 10, and I don't have them winning that game either. I don't have them winning a game until they beat Carolina week 14.
Wow.
And then they're not good, man. They're losing Julio Jones.
Right.
They've got an aging Matt Ryan. They've got a defense that couldn't hold a 70-point lead in the fourth quarter. This team is just not very good.
30-point win or lead to the Cowboys, right?
I have them sneaking one against Carolina because it's a division game, and then I have them beating Detroit because I think Detroit's equally as bad. It's not going to be a good year for Falcons fans. Falcons fans are going to be feeling the misery for a while. They are not going to be rising up at all.
So the another bad thing about the Atlanta Falcons schedule this year is they had that early bye week in week 6. I actually had them going 0-5 going into week 6. So you had them going 0-14, right? Or 0-13.
0-13 or 0-12.
Yeah, like 0-12.
Week 14.
Right, versus the Panthers. So, do you see Matt Ryan getting benched during the bye week for possibly the quarterback from, I believe he was from Florida State, was that Felipe guy, or you got A.J. McCarron as well? Do you see possibly benching Matty Ice?
I don't. Probably.
I mean, you
they
have
probably
to,
do
right?
bench Matty Ice at some point, but they don't have their quarterback of the future yet. They're gonna have to try to draft him, and this is gonna be a horrible draft class for quarterbacks coming out of college.
Right. So Torrey is a firm believer that some teams are going to cut said players, and then teams are going to pick it up, where their weakness there. Do you see a possible quarterback getting cut from a other NFL team and the Falcons picking him up and say, hey, this might be our guy?
Let me ask you about a scenario that I swear to you I just now thought of. What if, and I don't think this will happen, but what if the Atlanta Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Green Bay Packers for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, they're going to have to give up some picks with Julio Jones.
Right.
But you give Jordan Love, you give him Julio Jones, and you give him the other wide receiver they already have. Why can't I think of his name?
Devontae
Adams. And you give Jordan Love those weapons, which is really going to irritate Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And you send Aaron Rodgers over to Atlanta.
Atlanta's
instantly be with this schedule, because to be honest with you, if this was any other team in the league, I'd probably have them at 14-3.
Yeah.
Because this is an easy schedule. You put Aaron Rodgers under center, and you still got weapons there. You still got Todd Gurley. You still got Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've still got weapons. Is this a different team? And not only that, but is that not an interesting trade?
That's a very interesting trade, but does that mean they trade Matt Ryan, or do they cut him out like outright?
They probably cut him. I mean, they probably let him go, and that way he's free to sign with whoever he wants to sign.
See, the problem that I see with this is the reason why they're getting rid of Julio is not because his production's down, just because he's not like all over the hill. It is because it is taking such a big cap hit, and they can't sign Kyle Pitts, and they can't sign their other guys that they drafted. So they have to release that salary cap somewhere. So with that being said, the only way this would possibly work somehow, some way, because I believe Matt Ryan is a dead cat hit on the Falcons. No matter what, if he plays for the Falcons or not, the Green Bay Packers have to take on some type of financial responsibility, and I don't think they're in the position to do that, because if you sign a Julio, so rumor is that Aaron Rodgers was offered a restructuring of his contract to free up $10 million of cap space. So is that making room for Julio Jones? Possibly, but would you, if you are the Green Bay Packers, and what Julio Jones is, 35, 36, 6 years old, would you trade Aaron Rodgers, fresh off his MVP, to a team like the Atlanta Falcons, which is in the NFC still, and you get Julio Jones for a rookie?
They're not really a threat, though. They're not really a threat. And you give Jordan Love, who you drafted to succeed Aaron Rodgers. That's why you drafted him.
Do you think they're sold on Jordan Love?
Dude, I mean, I think you could be sold on anybody if you've got Julio Jones and Devontae Adams to throw to.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
I mean, I'm just saying. I just think that if you send Rodgers to Atlanta, they're going to be good. They're going to be better than what they are. I think they probably win 9 or 10 games, and it changes the complexion of the NFC South. But I just, and Drew chimes in and says, Combs, Rodgers is good, but not, he ain't that. Yeah, he is.
He is that.
Rodgers is that good.
Yeah.
I hate him. I hate the Green Bay Packers. You heard it. I'd rather throw up in my mouth and swallow than interview the man.
Right.
Like, I do not like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like the Green Bay Packers. But Aaron Rodgers is a top 3 quarterback of all time, and he's not number 3.
Yeah.
So, I'm just telling you, Aaron Rodgers is that good, Drew.
So what was your record for the Atlanta Falcons again?
I have them at 2-15.
2-15. So I had the Falcons going 5-12 this season, 2-4 in the division. So let's say we're going off of my picks here. 5 wins. Very, very generous. And you trade Julio Jones and you get Aaron Rodgers and you cut Matty Ice or trade him or do whatever you got to do. Do you think losing Julio Jones for Aaron? I mean you're losing Julio Jones.
I think you're
one way or the other.
but you're upgrading at quarterback huge.
But,
and you still got Calvin Ridley. You still got Todd Gurley.
Right.
I mean, you've still got weapons.
Do you think that's only 4 extra wins though, adding Aaron Rodgers to that roster?
I don't think for me that's 7 extra wins.
Yeah.
I've only got them at 2 wins.
So in my scenario, 7 wins would basically make them 12-5, leading tied for the division for Saints and Bucks. Granted, there might be some games here or there that are changed around, but would you? Because what would the Falcons also have to give up to get Aaron Rodgers besides Julio Jones?
You're gonna have to give up, but you're gonna have to if you're gonna get Aaron Rodgers for Julio Jones, you're gonna have to give If you're giving up Julio Jones, you're getting you probably have to give up a second and a third. And possibly even a fourth or a fifth, or even a future second.
Pause here.
So maybe 2 seconds and a third.
All of the proposed trades that I've seen for Julio Jones, it's been like a 2nd-round pick and a 3rd-round pick and a couple 4th-round picks. Yeah, but you're getting Aaron
Rodgers now.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, these teams that are proposing these, like these trades, they're just a 2nd-round pick.
You were getting something, but now you're not getting anything. You're giving away stuff to get this guy. You're not getting anything in return for Julio Jones. You're giving up stuff. I mean, you're getting Aaron Rodgers.
That sounds really intriguing.
They've still got Calvin Ridley. Yeah. They still got Russell Gage. They've still got Hayden Hurst. They drafted Kyle Pitts. Yeah. So this team with Aaron Rodgers would be dangerous. It's a very I swear to God, I just thought of it while we were sitting here talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and then we were like, "Oh, Julio Jones leaving." I was like, "Man, wouldn't that be interesting?"
Would that change the landscape of that division? Would that possibly knock the Saints off the top and put the Falcons at number 2 or even number 1?
I don't know that it knocks the Saints or the Bucks. Because I have the Saints at 2. I have the Bucks at 1. I don't know that it knocks either one of them off, but it gives each one of them an extra loss.
Yeah.
You know,
So you go from 15-2 to 14-3, and
14-3
Yeah.
to 13-4, and then who knows? I mean, if you lose the early game to them, and then it sends you into a tailspin or something, like it could change the complexion of this division. That it's a compelling trade idea.
and then the Falcons beat the Packers the first round of the playoffs.
Dude,
That would be.
how bad would that be?
I would feel bad for Torrey and Wyatt. No,
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
Not at all. Not one bit.
So let's go ahead and flash back to reality here. As the
You know what would happen? You know what would happen if they lost?
Oh, Kevin King cost us another game. No. There you go.
Or I would come back with I'll get that other one back up, the Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah. But so as a team is currently constructed for the Atlanta Falcons, I do have them going 5-5-12. The starting out, I do have them going 0-5 going into the bye week. The game that I have circled is that Week 7 matchup when they travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I think this is kind of a turning point of the season. If they lose
you
to
have
the
them
Dolphins,
winning that game.
I have them losing to the Dolphins, and I think this is when questions start surrounding should we have traded Matt Ryan in the off season? Do we bench our $100 million guy? Do we bring in AJ McCarron? That sucks. I mean, like what do we do? So I think that Week 7 game is the absolutely must win if Matt Ryan wants to finish his 2021 season as a starter in the NFL. So who is your MVP for the Falcons this season if they have one?
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley will still, have over 1,000 yards receiving, probably have close to 100 catches. I think Calvin Ridley's really good, and especially he's going to be the number one target now.
Yeah.
So,
and I hate to go with a rookie, but I think Kyle Pitts is going to take a lot of pressure off of Matt Ryan, a lot of pressure off of Calvin Ridley. So I think Kyle Pitts is going to get the ball a lot this year because he's a big guy, a big man, and he is going to demand the ball a lot. Not by his voice, but his presence on the field. So I think Kyle Pitts is going to be my X factor for the team